It's just religion. It's just religion.
Hello and welcome back to RS in 5 or Less. Quickly checking that notification to see if that cosmic message really was for you. Over the next few videos we're going to be thinking about different prophets within Islam. In order to do this properly, we need to think about exactly what a prophet is. So today we're going to have a think about prophethood. Muslims believe that prophets are the human messengers on behalf of Allah. Allah has a message which he wishes to give to people. He passes it on to angels, who then convey that important message to prophets. The prophets then share that message with the people to whom they are sent. Muslims believe that each people group is sent a prophet, a person to bring them a message from Allah, and that all people groups and all nations in the world have been given a prophet at some time or another. Muslims believe that Allah sends these messengers, prophets, in order to convey an important message to each people group. This message broadly is how to live a righteous life, although it does vary from group to group. The 10th chapter of the Quran reads, "Every community is sent a messenger, and when their messenger comes, they will be judged justly. They will not be wronged." This means that each people group will be accountable on the Day of Judgment for whether or not they have followed the commands of God, because each group has been sent a messenger. It also means that no group of people could complain that they had not heard the message and as such not responded to it. Muslims believe that there have been 124,000 prophets at least, of which 24 are named in the Quran. They include, but are not limited to, Adam, Enoch, Noah, Methuselah, Lot, Abraham, Ishmael, Isaac, Jacob, Joseph, Jethro, Job, Ezekiel, Moses, Aaron, David, Solomon, Elisha, Noah, Zechariah, John the Baptist, Jesus, and the Prophet Muhammad. Most of those names that I've just read are the anglicized version of the Arabic names. Jesus is known as Isa, Moses is known as Musa, David is known as Dawood, and Abraham is known as Ibrahim. Some prophets are described as Rasul. This means they have an important divine revelation which needs to be shared with everybody, everywhere. Other prophets are called Nabi. This means that they have an important message, but to be shared with a specific group of people in a specific context. Muslims believe that over the years, multiple prophets have been required because people either forgot or changed the original message. This gives rise to the Muslim idea of Risalah, that being prophets are an important channel of communication between Allah and people. Muslims also believe that prophets live a life that is to be emulated and copied, and as such they are role models. Being a prophet is seen as a great gift, but also a great burden, because not everybody will believe the message that is sent. For an extension, look up the details of some of the prophets that I mentioned earlier. What do they do? How do they do it? And how successful were they? Prophethood is seen as a great gift, and prophets have held an important place in Islam all the way from the first prophet and man, Adam, right the way to the final revelation of the Quran, written by the final prophet, Muhammad. Because the Quran is seen as the final revelation to mankind, no more prophets or prophecy is needed. Some questions to consider. With the exception of the Prophet Muhammad, should all other prophets be seen as equally important, or is there a hierarchy? Which should be seen as more instructive for a Muslim today? What the Prophet wrote and said, or how they lived? What does it mean that so many of the prophets featured in Islam are also seen as important figures within Judaism and Christianity? And how important should a belief in prophets be for Muslim believers today?